What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Box Out Boys podcast. We are the NBA podcast of the people, your home for lukewarm takes and substandard analysis. I'm Titus Two Shots Dominguez, and with me, as always, it's Joey, the Statsman McCroskey. Get that, Joe?
Hey. Okay, I got a stat tonight. The Bulls have not won a first quarter this entire season. They are now 0-8 in first quarters.
Wow.
This entire season.
I don't know if that's depressing or just impressive.
It shows their resilience.
It shows they're consistent,
their
It shows their
consistency.
commitment to continuity.
Is that a coaching thing? Do we blame coaching for the
Yes.
first quarter woos? Okay.
1000%. Because it's the
Yeah.
same. I bet you if we looked last year, it's probably almost a similar stat. But yeah, they haven't won the first quarter. So there you go.
All right. Well, he's helping us come back in that second quarter. He's raking his leaves. It's the lawn boss, Chris Corbin. What's up, Chris?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, just raking my leaves, put them in tarp, put them in backyard.
You didn't have to make up a voice for me. You could have just
Put him in tarp. Put leaves.
I think I was doing like
Wow.
an impersonation of myself. Really,
He's
like
like
one of the
really
Flintstone characters, like rake leaves, put tarp,
Put
drag curb, strong man.
I could drag it to my my trench in the backyard. Go down the hill.
Yeah,
Anyways.
just throw it down
Yeah.
there.
Drag trench, make fire.
Wow. Well, we got a fun show for you guys tonight. Chris has got some tiers he's going to go through with us for the the first 2 weeks here of the season. Start realigning the teams, how we feel about their starts and how the season's been going, where we're thinking they're going the rest of the way. So, Chris, I guess without any further ado, let's get into it, man.
Yeah.
What you got?
Let's get into it. How I just realized I forgot to ask. How should we start? Should we go bottom up or top down?
I like a bottom up.
Yeah, I like bottom.
Bottom up approach.
Bottom up.
All right.
I like bottom.
Let's
like
start
bottom.
with the
I like bottom.
bottom. Let's start with the trash team. So I don't know if you guys
Do you want to go
agree
through
with me
all
on the
your
trash
tiers
team.
first, or you want to go?
Oh,
just
sorry.
like-
Let's go through all the tiers.
Tell us
Yes.
what the tiers are.
I have 6 tiers going here with this. We've got the no doubt tier. Teams that are no doubt can win the finals or are clearly the best team in the league. The doubt, which are teams that are pretty good, but I have some level of doubt in them. They have some kind of flaw that I don't know if they'll be able to solve this year. The I don't know what this is, but I like it, are teams that are flashy. They do some good things sometimes, but a lot of other times they're like, all right, this isn't that great. I don't know about this. And they win. I think I had to put that caveat on. Like the Hornets are kind of fall in this category, but they suck, so I had to put them in there later. Then you have the you can have them. They're the teams that I believe that their fan base is like, yeah, no, this is a pretty good team. And they're just like, no, it's looking okay, but no, you can have
I
them.
like that.
And then there's the what? Because there are a few teams that when I looked at them, I just kind of went, what? What? What's going on here? And then you have trash, which is simply just
Trash. Garbage.
I don't like these teams. I may be being too mean for some of these teams. I kind of feel bad putting them in trash. We can talk about it. But yeah, I don't plan to watch these teams much. Although I did watch one because they won. But anyways, let's start with the trashiest of the trash, the Utah Jazz.
Yes.
30th in offense. Lauri Markkanen is just racking in that money for this trash of an organization. Anybody have any rebuttal to the Utah Jazz being the trashiest team in this godforsaken league?
No,
I
they're
mean-
clearly good.
They beat the Bulls, so I mean they got to be like a little higher.
Tough.
I'm just kidding. Yeah,
That's their only win.
It is their only win. Yes,
Oh.
they were the only team without a win until they came to Chicago the other night.
The Lauri Markkanen revenge game.
He wasn't
He
even
does- he
playing.
does it
He
every
didn't
year.
even play.
Play. Oh man.
They
I gotta
didn't
get an
even
antenna.
need. You don't need it.
Don't need it. I know. I waited too long to miss the preseason and early season hype.
You could say Laurie ain't no hollaback girl.
The thing about this team too, what are you even excited about? People are talking about Keontae George, but he's not. I don't know. He's averaging 16. Maybe he's. But there's really Jordan Clarkson, Sexton, Collins, Walker Kessler's regressed. He's supposed to take a leap in his third year. He's just not.
Yeah,
looking
he's
great.
not having it.
There's nothing going on here. This is just.
Well, they're excited for the first pick in the draft this year.
It's a team middling, and it makes you wonder what they were thinking when they didn't take it, whatever they could for Laurie.
Yeah, it's a weird signing now.
Just it's weird. Like I get the Cooper Flag thing, but it just doesn't. They're not like one piece away. They're like four pieces away, right? They're too far away, I think.
Yeah.
To like hitch it to Laurie and the
is Cooper Flag the most obvious Utah Jazz player?
It feels like it's going to be.
Don't they already have it? Philip Kowski,
like
isn't he the quintessential Utah?
Yeah,
they're both Duke. They're both Duke guys.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. Yeah, no, this one's easy trash.
All right, next one. This one, the Portland Trailblazers. I consider trash.
Are they
actually? Let me do the next three. Or I have four people, four teams in this. Let's do them all. Let's just get them in here.
We'll talk.
Portland Trailblazers, Detroit Pistons, and the Washington Wizards. Where are they? Are they? Oh, here. Yeah, this ugly ass logo.
Yeah.
I know the Pistons beat the Lakers pretty handily the other night. Cade looked great. Jaden Ivey's exciting. They got some guys. Portland kind of the same way. Scoot's looking okay. You know, they got a lot of pieces. Anthony Simons doing it. Avdija. I'll be honest, I haven't watched too much of their games. I've just been seeing highlights. Jeremy Grant looks like he's trying to get traded, so he's going to put in an effort for a little bit. And then you got the Wizards, who Draymond Green.
Yeah, he said they were feisty.
Good things about the other night, which is cool. They still lost, right? But hey, they're a feisty bunch. Good for them. They're trash. I'm not watching these teams.
Yeah, these are not.
But yeah. Any thoughts? Bilal Coulibaly? Anybody? Any takers on Bilal?
No. My thought is when you said, "Oh, this shitty logo," and then you put them next to the Pistons logo. I never realized how like uninspired both of those logos are.
Oh, the Pistons had the ultimate decrease in logo in the logo I've ever seen in life, right?
Like when you just look at it, it's like where is there any sort of inspiration or fun in this? It's just not.
It makes no sense. This is the retro though. They did this in like the 70s, right? Maybe that's I don't know.
It's awful. No, trash is fine. The Wizards will stay trash. I think the Wizards, Blazers, and Jazz stay trash all season. I could see the Pistons sneaking into the like you can have them camp. Like if Cade somehow comes on at some point in the season, like I feel like there's been 2-3 seasons of like, does Cade Cunningham finally take the leap? Does he finally pop? Right? Like there's been such like little flashes of it. You're just like, well, he's on the Pistons, and it's kind of like it is what it is. But like at some point, he's either going to hit or miss. So I could see out of the four of these teams, potentially the Pistons moving. And I think like last year too. I know I did. I took the over. I think maybe on them.
Yeah.
Like I kind of felt like they were like a mid-20s win team. Like everything kind of seemed like there was some positive movement for them. You know, they had just hired Monty Williams. That obviously backfired, but like they've got some names, they've got some talent. At some point, I think maybe if anybody does, it's them. The Wizards are stuck. Like Jordan Poole and Kuzma, like that's
and Bilal Coulibaly.
Yeah, Bilal. I'm not.
And they have like a bunch of other guys that people keep talking about. Yeah, exactly.
I'm not getting excited about anybody else on that.
The Pistons are like Joe. You explained it really well. The Pistons are like this feisty team that they're trying, but all of a sudden you see, they lost again by 20. Except when they beat the Lakers. Yeah. So I don't know. They're gonna be a good.
Yeah, I think depending on who else is in like your what category or who you're thinking for that, I feel like the Pistons could end up there as like a team of like what exactly are they doing? All
right, well that's perfect. Yeah. Let's get to our what category because
do it.
Maybe I'm
Very
how you
curious
guys
how
feel
you
about
went
this. I
through
have
this.
four teams in my what category.
What?
I have
Okay.
the Milwaukee Bucks, which I feel like was the poster child for this category.
Wow. Okay. This is where I thought maybe you were going.
The Charlotte Hornets, the Toronto Raptors, and the Philadelphia 76ers.
Wow.
So Paul George finally played the other night. He admitted himself he played bad. Embiid still hasn't played. The reporter deserved it. I'm not knocking Embiid for doing that. But I am knocking him for saying that he's done so much for the city. You haven't made it to the conference finals. I don't know, man. You have your own MVP. That's cool. But like, win. I don't know. Like it's
time to win.
Like, yeah, it's time to win, or put up or shut up is kind of what I was put out there. The ultimate what team though? The Milwaukee. But hang on. Before I get to them, the Raptors are just not healthy. Scotty Barnes is out for the next 3 weeks. RJ Barrett, I think he's back. I was trying to watch this team. I like Jakob Poeltl as a big man. I picked them to go to the playoffs, and it's a dark horse. They're just kind of a bummer for me. The Hornets, everybody on X Twitter loves LaMelo Ball. Until you watch that he doesn't care to win. He plays basketball like he's just driving a car, a go-kart on a rooftop, just kind of going in circles and not really actually trying to win the game. He's just kind of getting cool shots up. And they got the Bucks.
An analogy.
They got the
basketball
Bucks
like he's driving a go-kart on a rooftop.
Just circles.
I've never seen such a thing.
Just cool circles, man.
He's doing donuts.
He's just a flashy guy. Like you watch him, it's oh, he did a cool thing there, but he's not trying to win.
He's
I don't understand this organization.
All 30-second clips team kind of player.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, but yeah, you ever see his mixtape? It's like, yeah, but the team sucked.
Yeah, he's top 30. He's top 30 player.
Yeah, right. Sure.
I was wondering if the Charlotte and Toronto should be in trash. That was when we kind of were in the trash. I thought about them there, but or maybe you can have them in that sense too. I kind of wanted to see where you went with these other brackets.
You could have them actually as pretty good teams, so that's why.
Okay, so it's more right, so yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the players on those teams are you can have them, but collectively as a whole, maybe the what
might be a good sense. Yeah, it's a good spot for him.
Yeah.
Well, because the Hornets have talent. Brandon Miller's great.
I think that's what makes sense. It's what do you doing? You have talent, but you're not good enough to be good, but you're not bad enough to be bad. So what are you quite doing?
And then the Bucks are like you said, the quintessential what team, because what even are they? Were they 1-6 right now still?
1-6, dude. And Dame and Giannis are putting up numbers.
Yeah.
Let's pause there and talk about that. So yeah, they're putting up numbers, but name anybody else who's putting up numbers on that team.
No, I don't. Yeah,
no one.
Nobody.
No one.
The team is built.
Bobby's number 3 at 12.6, and that's just not. Yeah. You need
And Bobby either looks like a really good role player, or he looks like a guy who should be the 13th man in the rotation, right?
Yeah.
There's no consistency from him. Brook Lopez can't do it anymore. Taurean Prince looks rough. AJ Green, who?
It's not good, man. You're digging deep. Gary Trent Jr. No, it's rough out here. Pat Connaughton and Bobby Portis. I think
Gary Trent Jr. was supposed to save
million.
Them, right? Gary Trent Jr. was supposed to be their big offseason pickup that was going to save them.
I swear he had a season where he averaged 20 points. He averaged 18 for Toronto 3 years ago, 17.
3 years ago. Who was on that
numbers?
3 years ago?
Yeah, the Sixers are 1-5 too, man.
Yeah,
that's why they're in the what category, man.
The Sixers at least have an excuse, right? They have.
Yeah, they've been hurt.
They have the excuse of Embiid hasn't played and Paul George hasn't played. But the Bucks are we've been healthy. We have everybody here. This was supposed to be the comeback, right? Oh, last season was tough because Dame was new. We switched coaches midseason. They had all the excuses, and now they've got nothing, and they're still terrible. Doc Rivers has to be fired.
Yeah. And Darvin Ham. I would do that too.
I can't believe Darvin
memes-
Ham is like the lead assistant for this team.
Yeah.
The memes are so good of Darvin Ham just
Of
like with his hands in his pocket, just like staring into space. They're just so good. There's nothing better.
That guy just does nothing. He's a terrible coach.
They should have kept Coach Bud. It all went downhill
Should've,
after
yeah.
that.
Dude. Yeah.
That's what happens, man.
They should have kept I already forgot his name. Who was the guy that
Last year?
Adrian Griffin.
Adrian Griffin.
Griffin,
He's
yeah.
fine. I don't know.
was
Maybe
fine.
Honest didn't like him, and it was
Well, their
weird.
defense wasn't strong enough in his mind, but now they're 1-6.
How's that going?
How's that
Yeah,
working out for
might be
you?
right.
How's that playing out for you? Yeah. All right. We can move on, but I just wanted to make sure
Yeah.
we touched on the Bucks being ridiculous.
All right. The you can have them section of the pod where the teams are pretty good. I think their fan bases are excited, at least on some level. At least, like, you know, if you're into basketball, you're kind of watching these games. You're a little excited to actually watch them every night. Here, I'll start with the New Orleans Pelicans, which is a team I did not like going into this season. They keep having injuries. They always have injuries. Brandon Ingram's looking great, but you can have them. The Clippers, James Harden's looking great. He's averaging 21.
Have him.
You can still have him. Yeah, I don't need to say much there. The Atlanta Hawks, they just beat the Knicks like 10 minutes ago.
Good win.
But you know, they're still you can have them.
You have him.
There's no defense on that team. They're kind of small with Clint. It's like 6'9" at center. The San Antonio Spurs. This pains me. I wanted them to be. I don't know what this is, but I like it. But they're not using what Sochan and Wemby together does not make any sense. There's no spacing on that team. Wemby is taking way too many jump shots and handling the ball way too much on the perimeter, in my opinion. And I hope they find a way. I thought Chris Paul, hopefully they can right size that and get him more inside looks and have him get a 50-point game, because I have a bet on that at the start of the season. It'd be great. The Brooklyn Nets, they're feisty. They are 5th in the East right now.
Yeah.
And at 3-3 or 4-4,
just ahead of the Bulls. 3-4.
I still like people are like, oh, Cam Johnson, oh, Cam Thomas, oh, like Ben Simmons is getting assists. It's like, okay, you can have them. Maybe they're not what, because like we kind of get what it is. Like,
yeah,
it's just that you can have them. Like they're fine. They're kind of this like the best they could have been. I think is this the tier 4. Then this one pains me, but the Orlando Magic, they were in the doubt category, but with Paolo injured, I maybe there's a Magic fan still trying to talk me into the team, out there, but
because what are they thinking here? Like a month, 2 months here?
Yeah,
for Paolo.
Yeah.
So, and they have no offense.
They look terrible without him.
Yeah, it's tough.
I think the Nets have to go down to what?
Yeah, I actually
okay.
Because in my mind, I get what you're saying, Chris, but at the same time, it's like,
what are they doing?
Yes, I was gonna say, what are you doing? It's
I agree. Yeah,
it's almost like they're doing like the Spurs 2 years ago. And I remember a game when the Spurs beat the Bulls, and like messaging you guys and being like, man, it must be kind of fun to just like not have an offensive game plan and just play as fast as you can and get up as many shots as you can. And like sometimes you're gonna run into like winning games. That's kind of what the Nets are, but it's like that's the absolute worst thing you want to do. Mm-hmm. It almost gives me like Jazz vibes from like 2 years ago too, right? Where they started the season kind of well, and then it was like, whoa, guys, we need to realize what we are supposed to be doing here, and we need to pump the brakes. And they kind of like slowed it all down, and magically guys started taking some nights off and stuff. So like, I think the Nets need to be in the what do you doing category.
Yeah.
Here.
I do kind of want to maybe say that the Magic should still be in that doubt category. I mean, 2 months is a long time, and I think for this season, I don't know if they're really going to have much of a shot like they should have, but they were playing so well with them, and he was playing he was playing at an all NBA level. I just felt like they were on the come up, and it's maybe a long-term play to go, hey, look, I'm not going to knock them for an injury into like, you can have them because I don't feel like that's the way I would categorize it either. But I'm also fine if we knock them
I
down.
think I think because I don't know what this is, but I like it. Maybe I'll put them there.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Maybe that's because they are a feisty bunch, but
And
like now without especially
Paolo,
without
yeah.
Paulo, I don't know what this is.
What it is, yeah. But I like it. I'm going to try to
Yeah.
root for them. All right, I'm
I
fine
can
with
live
that.
there.
Yeah.
Spurs. I like the Spurs, and you can have them.
Yeah,
Wemby is going to catch some like serious strays this season. I think.
I think so too.
I think it's already starting to kind of build.
Yeah,
And-
boy, he takes so many jump shots.
But yeah, and I know they kind of like force, but Sochan is going to be out for what is he out for like a month now or
Man.
something. So that whole experiment is going to have to end. Wemby does not look great. The 5x5 was exciting, but like other than that, though, he has not impressed.
Mm.
I think as much. I mean, if he doesn't make an All-Star team this season, do you consider this season like I don't want to say failure, but like a
Yeah.
mean,
underwhelming?
Yeah,
underwhelming
he
Oh,
maybe state
100%.
failure. Yeah, he should be an all-star level player, all NBA type player. So, yeah, if he doesn't kind of get it together here and turn the Spurs around a little bit and be a little bit more feisty.
I'm like slightly concerned that teams figured him out, and until he changes his game for the better, like he's gonna have to add that dimension. Like he's almost gonna have to go like Giannis mode. He's have to add like some weight or bulk up a little bit, where it's like, or stop settling for jump shots, right, and just playing the
He just
paint.
move
and use
people out of the
length.
way.
Like, he's got to have to figure that out. Until then, people are like, yeah, we'll just stack the lane and make you have to take jump shots and figure it out. And it's not gonna go good for him.
Any thoughts on Pelicans, Clippers, Hawks? If not, we can just keep going. Those are teams that they're fine.
Yeah.
There's no big men on these teams. That's the trend that we're like Valanciunas. Is Valanciunas still on that team?
Yes. You don't like Clint
On the
Capella?
Pelicans? No, they're not big men. They're not Pirtle.
Oh, they're not big enough.
Zubac is okay, but there's something missing with him. Like he's actually been playing really well this year, but he's not a second option, right? Like
Yeah,
I think he's averaging that many points.
Yeah. No, I think this fits. You can have them. Like there's enough players on these teams that are good, but they're not
Norman
doing
Powell's
anything.
amazing.
They're just kind of stuck. They've almost become like the new purgatory teams.
could the Rockets be added to you can have them?
Ooh.
See, you're the transition guy, Titus. That's
I
you got
don't
him
know what
in.
this is, but I like it.
I like the Rockets. They have
Okay.
they have like 10 guys. They have like 2 5-man lineups that can start.
Guys.
I can see them. Yeah, I can see starting.
Yeah.
They're 4-3. They're fourth in the West. I know we're 7 games in, but still, Van Vliet is not playing well, and this team is still winning games. He's only averaging 13 points through 7 games.
Overrated.
It's just they got Green, Sengun, Van Vliet, Jabari, Brooks,
Overrated.
Tari Eason, Eamon Thompson, Kim Whitmore.
You can have them. You can
Steven
have 'em.
Adams, Jacqueline. Steven Adams only played 3 games. Reed Shepard. I forgot about the rookie. He hasn't done anything yet.
This is
they have
screaming. This is
so many
screaming. You
players.
can have them.
Have a, yeah, this feels
Okay.
like you can
All
have
right.
them.
Fair enough. They are the 4th seed, but we'll
I get the-
revisit
I-
this.
you know,
in like a
But
month.
that's why
I
you
get-
can have them.
I get
like,
4 and
Okay.
3, but
you can have them.
it's kind of shady. I mean, like the Nets are 4 and 4, right?
Yeah, Sterling.
All right, actually,
The
another
whole
good
Western
team.
Conference is 4 and 3.
Yeah, they are. Next team I can bring up with this. I like the Kings.
That's probably a good place for them.
Again, I don't know. Like they're like the version that we were talking about with the Nets, where you're kind of running up the score and you're trying to win. The thing is that Kings actually win, right? Like they have De'Aaron Fox, they got DeMar to close out games.
I think if they weren't so fun,
monster.
they could be you can have them, but I think they're they're a little bit more fun. Even though there's nothing really there. It's like I don't think there's really a good push here, but I'm okay with it.
Okay. The Heat, I don't know where to put the Heat.
Trash. No,
Is there like a like a annoyance tier.
Yeah, I think they would be. You can have them for me. I like.
Yeah,
I'm thinking they're more. You can have them.
I am not worried at
Yeah.
all about the Heat. Like,
I'm so over.
Yeah, I'm over
everything that the Heat have to bring.
yeah,
I think Jimmy's
break it
old.
up.
He's looking
Yeah.
old, man. He's trying, and he's averaging 20% from 3-point range. He's only
Ooh.
taking less than 2 per game.
Jimmy's
Scary
old,
Terry and
and
Hero.
after continuing to watch starting five, he's just not. He's not my guy.
So,
Yeah, I gotta get back on that.
He's a real person. Like basketball is in his life, and I just, which is fine. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just like
I want my basketball players to be ballless life.
I want ballers. I want hoopers.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards types.
Yeah.
Towns roasted this team the other night. It's pretty fun to see that. So he scored
who else on the
44
Heat?
on Bam.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like Bam is trapped, and I feel like
Yeah.
Bam's gonna be one of those guys who we're going to talk about in like 5 years of like, damn, what if
He could have
Bam?
got somewhere.
What if Bam had gotten out of there or gotten somewhere?
Yeah.
So there's like a looming trade potentially where Bam would get traded for and a bunch of other stuff for Giannis,
Yeah, I was hearing about this today too.
right? It feels like,
That's
but like, does that make Milwaukee any better? Like now they have
No,
Bam
that's what-
instead,
no.
Bam's gotta
Bam
go-
and
you go to third-
Jaquez, and you don't want to give up too much because you want to have Giannis. Like, so it'd be it's a weird fit. I don't know if it really works.
Giannis to Dallas is the thing that makes me the
Oh, it's
most
scary.
the scariest.
Ooh,
And I said this
wow.
like 2 years ago, I think, before Giannis signed that deal. Like after they won the title, I was like, if they don't get good, I can see Giannis to Dallas.
That'd be
Interesting.
insane.
Well,
All right, let's
teams.
get some other teams in here. I got the Grizzlies,
Grizzlies. Yep,
the
I'm fine with
that's
that.
perfect.
Lakers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Nugs,
Ooh,
Pacers.
I think we
Oh,
paused.
and
Bulls.
the Bulls.
now.
Bulls was
Bull-
kind of like my why I named it this. I don't know what this is, but I like it. They're number 1 in tempo. They look fun, but they're probably what do you think, Joey? What's your take with the Bulls?
Hmm.
I feel like they're there. They're in that category, or they're in the what category?
They're
don't
not
think
you can
they're-
have them because nobody really
Yeah.
thinks they're good, right?
Yeah.
I'm honestly considering putting them in trash.
Oh,
They
Okay.
lost to the
This is
Nets
spicy.
on Cam Johnson scoring like 38 because they couldn't literally
Cam
put a
Thomas,
body in
yeah.
front of Cam Thomas. Sorry. Then they lost to the Jazz, and
Two tough
I
losses.
don't even remember who the fuck. Somebody else put up like 30 plus on them. Zach didn't play in either one of those games, and they they look really bad. Like it's the same shit. Like
Yeah.
new season. Like
They
there was a
were
moment where
moving the
I was like, oh well, was DeMar the problem? Like, okay, cool, but you pick up the tempo, you're shooting more threes, but they're doing exactly what we said was going to happen when the season ended last year and they traded Caruso, right? We're like, they're going to be in some absolute shootouts, but they're going to lose because they can't play a lick of defense,
Yeah.
which is kind of like the perfect place to be. And I think last week it was kind of like, oh, maybe the Bulls aren't so bad. Maybe they're like
Yeah.
a 500 team. It's because they beat the Bucks.
Yeah, now we're
what we've
finding
seen
out.
from the Bucks. It's
Yeah.
like, well, that win wasn't as impressive as we actually thought it was.
that's a fair point.
And then,
So-
Nets loss and who
Yeah.
the other loss they have. It's
I get
weird.
I like it because of the tempo, because it's different than what we've seen from them, but they're not good. Like they're like
Okay.
who
They're
are they
not
competing against? Like name somebody who
Themselves.
they're, name somebody who they're kind of comparable with on this list.
All right. I was trying to be nice, but I'm understanding your
I'm being realistic.
feelings on
just,
that list here.
But I think Joey's right. I think the vibe has kind of shifted from the first couple of games of the season. I
Yeah.
think early on it was like, wow, look at this ball movement. Look at the threes. This is kind of
it
fun.
was that Bucks game. It was like, wow,
Yeah.
Kobe scored a bunch. They put up a bunch
Yeah.
of threes and they made them and they looked committed to it. And then I was like, well, the
Uh,
Bucks are just actually really bad.
And then a 20-point comeback against
Levine
Memphis. It was
averaging
yeah,
like 28.
fun.
Yeah, and then I
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
I
the
ignored the
20,
fact
yeah.
that they were down 20 to Memphis.
Yeah.
Without Ja.
Yeah.
It was like, well,
Like all these red
Yeah,
flags
right.
indicators.
I just ignored that part. I was like, well, it happens. And then they won another game when they were down by 20 back to back. And I was like, okay, I'm just ignoring that. And they lost games.
They didn't come back.
They do have 3 players right now that are averaging 20 plus points a game.
That's exactly what they are. But what's the plus minus on those players?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have that.
Zach's has got to be like an average of like negative 17 a game, which pans out for him. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, but it's
Kobe's probably in that range too. Vooch is probably the only positive. I bet you he's like +4 or something like that. Like he's probably like a level player. But
does Patrick Williams? I've been watching him.
Trade him.
I've been a huge defender of this man. 5th year on the Bulls, just signed a 4-year, $80 million contract.
Mistake.
Is he just like he looks like a player that was like created in a lab and forced to play basketball against his will. And then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, you're gonna give me this money? I guess I'll keep doing this." The guy just does not look like he wants to be there. He still looks scared 5 years into his career. I don't get it. At some point, you figure it out. I feel like
he was forced to play against his P-Will.
He does look like a player you created in 2K that you thought was going to be cool and then just ends up being boring to play with.
He's Kawhi without any sort of aggression. They're like the same size player.
Yeah.
And like the long arms, like the paw, like all the comparisons are pretty legitimate. He just is he's just afraid of his own shadow.
He's the super poor man's Kawhi.
You know what's gonna happen is he's gonna get on another team. He's gonna have like one season where he's averaging like 18 a game. And it's like,
he's gonna have like a marketing career.
I don't know about that. I was thinking more like Marvin Williams.
Nah, I think they're gonna trade him. He's gonna have like a breakout season where he's gonna go to like kind of like a middling team who needs a guy, and he's gonna be the guy for like a season, and everybody's gonna fall in love with him. Be like, this is exactly what we said he was gonna be. And then he's just going to kind of come back to earth and just kind of be like, oh, okay.
So when he's included with Zach LaVine in the Lakers trade, that's that's where he'll pop. Spicy.
That is spicy.
It's actually not that bad.
It's not that bad. I don't
that'd be the kind of player they need.
Yeah. It's a lot of money though to take on. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he'd be actually good in that role because they don't need they wouldn't need scoring if he went to that team.
Defender.
They would need a guy who could just defend and be afraid. All right. I don't know what this is, but I like it here. I think the Nuggets
go ahead.
I think the Nuggets need to go to what?
I was gonna say, or you can have them.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
I feel like this window is done. Aaron Gordon going down now too. Like they just look like it
feels like it's over.
It feels like they had their moment 2 years ago, and then last year was really deflating for them, and they're not quite ready to recover from it. Like Mike Malone is losing his job, I would feel like, after the season.
God, that's stupid. But
Jokic just playing out of his mind too.
That's the thing. Jokic is
right, but I feel like
it's a good point.
Right, you can't fire players, so what are they going to do? They're going to say, well, he couldn't get everybody to rally around Jokic when he's still in his prime. So what do we have?
That's crazy. It's so. You're right. Because I think we're gonna look back on this and see they're actually gonna fall even more. Jokic, he's averaging 20. He's averaging nearly 30 points a game, 12.6 rebounds, and 10.3 assists.
Jesus,
this is so stupid. He's averaging a triple double, and this team is 4-3. Like, and they look like they're gonna get worse. It sucks.
What a waste! Franchises should be punished for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, then I don't know what this is, but I like it. My favorite team left in this tier is the Memphis Grizzlies. John Morant, did you guys see that 360 layup? Like,
I missed that one, but I got.
Oh no, I should have sent it.
Is it like every other 360 layup he's ever done? Is it just kind of?
I don't know. It was just kind of like, stop sending me those. The caption was like, stop sending me those Jordan replays anymore. Like we got this every other night going on. Scottie Pippen Jr. is looking good.
Scottie Pippen Jr.
Jay Huff.
Everyone likes had Jay 25 Huff. Or something the other night, right?
HR Puff and stuff looks all right.
HR Puff and stuff. Yeah, I think they're fun.
He had 20. Yeah, he had 20 the other night.
Chris, I want to hear the explanation for the Pacers. Because this team is befuddling me.
They're 4-4. I thought they were. I almost put them in. You can have them. they're like Benedict Mathurin is the difference maker for this team, where he brings all of the aura right for this team. Halliburton is off to a rough start, and I think that's why I still think that they'll bounce back with that. They just have a lot of guys, Siakam and Turner. Siakam's a classic. You can have him guys, sure, but with Mathurin is the reason I took this team over the hump into this tier. But I can understand if you guys are like, you can have him with the Pacers as well.
Halliburton, I think I want to give him a little bit longer, but Halliburton is he's on the radar now. Like, hey, we got to watch. Was that just a flash?
That's why he's kind of like on the edge.
Yeah,
they're on the edge here.
They're on the edge. I'm with you. I kind of do. I'm okay with leaving him there for now because I think they still could be fun. But they're definitely on. You can have them watch.
I feel like this tier maybe would have been better suited if I don't know what this is and just end it there.
Ooh,
yeah,
that might be
like the Pacers. It's like I don't know if I like it right now. Like if Benedict Mathurin is your guy, like does that bode well for you? Like it should be Halliburton, right? Like that's your cornerstone. It should be. So it's like I'm not sure what this is. Like, are you guys in a midst here, or are you adding like a 1B player right now? Are you kind of like, is somebody evolving? Do we have a Pokemon evolving? We spending our EV candies here. We don't really quite know what's going on. Are we changing names? Or we just, we find the cheat code kind of thing here. So I'm not sure what the Pacers are. It's kind of like the same way I feel with the Lakers. It's like, I don't know if I like it. Like I liked it the first two games, but now it's like I don't know if I like it.
Yeah,
I don't know if I know what it is, but like, are you guys there? Are you not there? What is it?
Yeah,
maybe it should be. I don't know what this is, and I don't know if I like it.
I don't know what this is, and I'm confused.
I thought that was it was getting too long, right?
Just call it questioning. Just call it the questioning category.
The questioning category.
But like Anthony Davis was on an MVP run, 32 points a game, 11 rebounds. Then he just went down with a heel contusion, so he's not playing tonight.
Data Davis
again.
So yeah, they were fun for those first two games. Rui looked great, and now he's kind of progressing back to Rui.
JJ was pulling the strings, and
so I don't know. That's why I think they're a fit for the I don't know what this is. Yeah, for now, this is a pretty solid. Yeah. This is a good one.
We can always come back to this in a couple
weeks.
This
feels good. All right. Doubt. This was originally called like conference finals, CF POS conference finals possibility, but that got boring, so I just said doubt. Kind of like the movie Doubt with Meryl Streep.
I have my doubts.
I have doubt. A lot of teams in this one. The top tier only has two teams, so it's everybody except those two teams. So we got the Cavs, the Mavs, the Wars, the Wolves, the Knicks, and the Suns.
Yep. All right. I like it.
Where do you want to start?
I actually kind of want to start with the Cavs.
Mm-hmm. Do it.
They're. I mean, right now they should probably maybe be in that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I have enough commitment to say no doubt with them. I don't know if they're Gwen Stefani yet. But
I was about to say, what if we?
Are you still sleeping on the Cavs? Don't sleep on the Cavs, or sleep?
I think
or slightly.
It's like don't sleep on the Cavs. I know what you're thinking, but
I was going to say they're really lovely, but underneath it all, it's kind of just right where they fit.
It's right where they fit. I think you're right. There's a little.
You're pretty lovely at 8-0, but underneath it all, do we really think that you guys have a chance to compete for a title?
All right, here are their wins.
Okay,
their 8 wins: right. Toronto, Detroit, Washington, New York, LA, Lakers, Orlando, Milwaukee, and then New Orleans.
That's Orlando without Paolo. Milwaukee we know is shit, and they barely won those games. Those came down to like Donovan Mitchell heroics to win both of those games against Milwaukee.
Yeah, this might be a little bit too early to put him in no doubt.
And Giannis didn't play in the second game they played against Milwaukee.
You went from wanting to put him in doubt. Oh, sorry, no. Okay, you like doubt. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, I think doubt.
I think doubt. Yeah.
I think being 8-0, you have to give
Yes.
credit for that. Like
That's why they're the top, right?
Yeah. Okay. I like them. They're top in the no doubt.
yeah, it's almost like one of those like college football playoff rankings, like the second week of the season, or like it's like a Boise State, you're like halfway through the season and you're like, well, you're undefeated, but you play in the Mountain West, so like we're
it's like
not
Indiana right now, right? They still have to play
it's
Ohio
like,
State. They're undefeated, but they still have Ohio State to play.
or when NIU went to the Orange Bowl after we graduated,
Yeah,
and
well, they should have won that game.
and it was like, well, you're undefeated, so we're gonna give you credit for it, but like we don't really have any faith in you doing anything cool, but we have to respect like what you're doing. So I think
like
number one in doubt makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that's perfect. I like it. As
I
far as
think-
the,
Go ahead.
as far as the other teams, I think I like them all. Those are the good teams right now, but every one of those teams, there's a little bit of suspect, a little bit of doubt in them. And
the Warriors being this high,
that's what's wild.
I was gonna say that's the one that befuddles me.
They're 6-1, 7. They've one loss.
Yeah, they're good.
Are they?
They're
I don't know
7-1.
what this is though.
I think because of Steph, you have to put him in the doubt. There, I think because it was Steph and Dre. And
do you have their wins, Chris?
They're 7-1.
No, but
do you have who they played?
Portland, Utah, Clippers, Nolans, Houston, Washington, and Boston, which is where they lost. They beat Boston at Boston.
So they played some really bad teams in that mix.
Without with Stephen Curry in that game. He's back.
Yeah,
he's back. Ooh, that's a
that just happened right now. That happened today.
I think maybe they can stay there, but
Yeah,
can we move them down from the third kind of spot?
All right, what do you think?
I should be the back end. Yeah,
I think they're
back
end.
Back end.
I feel like right now, if it was Suns Warriors, I'm taking the Warriors. Just because that's more of a maybe a personal thing.
Ooh, 7-game series.
That'd be good.
That'd be juicy.
It would be juice. It's just weird that they're in the mix because they weren't supposed to be great. I'm so psyched for the first. They haven't played the Mavs yet, right? Yeah. So,
dude, how about that? Has there ever been a better? It wasn't a trade, but say it was like trading Clay for Buddy Hield, where like Clay's thriving in Dallas, and Buddy Hield has never looked better.
Yeah,
with the Warriors, he's averaging 22 points a game. He's averaging 22 points a game in 25 minutes a game, which I don't know if that has ever happened before. Or maybe not in the last like 20 years, where you average under 30 minutes a game and over 20 points. So he's mad efficient.
I think the Suns should be above the Timberwolves and the Knicks.
Wow. I kind of agree.
If we're giving credit to teams with records in this category against, I guess I don't know who they played. Maybe you have that one too.
Clips. They lost to the Lakers, Dallas, Lakers, Clips, Portland, Philly. So not pretty solid wins.
Some solid wins, but mixed bag there.
I'm still they're I don't know, man.
I'm slightly nervous.
Beal's already missed 2 games.
I'm thinking back to like the night one comments that Titus made about the Knicks and the Timberwolves and his uneasiness with their trades and just how it's meshing. And like there's been moments of it meshing, but like they still don't seem like they've convinced me that like this is all gravy yet. But the Suns actually look like they're finally almost at that team that everybody thought they were going to be when they made these moves.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not comfortable putting them over the Timberwolves just yet. When they play each other, if they beat them,
can we
move it.
Can we take one spot? Can we bump the Knicks?
The Knicks?
Yeah, the Knicks.
Right.
What do we do with the Knicks? The Knicks just lost Atlanta.
The Knicks are going to be confusing.
3-4. They traded everything for Michael Bridges, which people loved, and he's not playing like as a player who was traded for 8 players. You know,
they're going to figure it out at some point. I think they're going to be okay. So I'm okay with them in doubt. There's just a little bit of a slow start here. I'm willing to give them another couple of weeks before we start bringing them back. But they're on watch too. You can have them watch as well.
I think the player that Bridges was in Phoenix is the player that Bridges is.
Yeah.
And we all got, not we all, but we got enamored with what he looked like in Brooklyn when he was
the first year,
when he was the dude. But in reality, he's like, he should be like your fourth option in your starting lineup. Is just a guy who's always out there and plays consistent minutes, doesn't hurt you, plays really good defense, and sometimes gets you a good bucket.
Yeah.
The Knicks wanted way more out of him, and that just doesn't seem right.
It's not working.
It's not right.
It's not right. And
All
then
right.
it just leaves
the shit that's bananas.
The Thunder are the best team in the league. I think you guys, Chet Holmgren, is he top 30 guy?
I think there's maybe some mistakes there.
We almost
Mistakes
there.
were made.
I understand, like, you know, I watched him in high school.
Is it slanderous?
I think Chris is right. I think maybe I slept a little on Chet. Yeah.
I will say, going against myself now, looking at his game logs, he his first 4, 25, 21, 25, 19, last 4, 6, 10, 14, 10. So
okay, yes,
we'll see.
Moments.
Let's come back to earth a little bit.
But it's not even Chet for this team. It's Jalen Williams. It's obviously Shea, Luke Dort, Keeson Wallace, our boy Caruso, who has awful numbers, but is still just diving all over the place. He is averaging almost 2 steals a game, 1.7 right now.
And what, like 5-6 minutes a game, probably? Jeez.
Yeah, right. It says 19 he's averaging per game.
Ew.
This just feels like the most inevitable thing.
The Thunder Celtics.
Yeah. This just feels like it's just going to be a slow, methodical march to these two meeting in the finals. Yeah.
The only thing that could hurt the Thunder and give the Celtics clear above everything is if after the All-Star break, for some reason, all of the foreign-born players have to go back because of whatever mandates go in place. So the Celtics, shout out to Pablo Escobar from Kicks Pod, who mentioned that the Celtics have all American-born players except like Kristaps Porzingis. Shea might have to go. Would maybe have to go back. Luka, Jokic.
Those feel like it'll be okay.
Just stop.
Okay. Do you think? Okay.
So Chet, I don't think we were sleeping on him because if you look at his stats, they're literally almost identical to what they were last year. Like full season versus the full sample now. I think it was enamored with the hot start, but like he's come back to earth and everything's kind of like leveled out.
Yeah.
So like a 17 point per game.
We'll see. Yeah.
I think I'm willing to maybe more accept it now. Where I think I was like, it's been one season. Let's relax. And I think if he continues to play, I mean, obviously the fast start and then a little bit of a regression to the mean there. But if he continues to have the kind of numbers he's having and the performances he has had, I think
these guys have like 3 or 4 guys that average almost 2 steals a game. Chet's averaging 3 blocks a game. They're all over the place. How do you?
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do with this? They're turnover merchants.
To me, it's I get what you're saying, and it's like these lanky bigs who can stretch, but like at some point, where does become like I don't know. I'm just like waiting for the swap from lanky bigs who can stretch the floor to like big bigs who play in the paint, right? Because how do you counter someone like Chet? Well, you start to get guys who are bigger, and then you play Chet off the floor because no one can guard these guys.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Jokic should be able to do, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Jokic would be a tough
matchup. Chet.
But they're not going to be in a position
to have that matchup.
And it's not going to, they're going to, I think like last year, if OKC had gotten Denver or Denver had gotten OKC instead of Minnesota, we're maybe talking about a different.
Like, isn't that kind of how like the whole it's kind of how like the Shaq thing was born, right? Like
Yeah.
Shaq came in and he was this big dominant center, and then for a while everybody went with these big, chunky, dominant centers.
Yeah.
And
well,
then,
it's because you can double team, right?
Right, and then you kind of come across this unicorn where you get like okay, let's see, you know, I don't. One comes to mind like a Joakim Noah, or you get like these guys who are like, hey, they can pass now, and then it starts to shift, and that's where we're at now. And it's like it's only a matter of time until somebody realizes that the way to do this is to have one guy that actually has skill who's bigger than him and just destroys him in the paint.
So you're saying Zach Edey is gonna?
He might be. That's honestly not a bad call.
That's like
that's not a bad call. That could be an absolutely ridiculous matchup for him.
We gotta watch.
Like I was looking at Chet 7'1", 204 pounds.
Yeah, he's a skinny man.
That's not much.
It's not much.
It's not a lot. But I'm off track. Sorry.
No, but this I like those two teams. I think they're.
I do like those two teams, and I like the order. I kind of agree. Celtics are really good, but like something feels like it's brewing with Oklahoma City this year, more so than last year.
But I think the finals trip is in play. I think this is the year that they're still too young, and this is the learning year, I think. And I think the Celtics get it back to back, and then the next year is the revenge of the Thunder, and then you're like, okay.
So you think they're the first team to go back to back in a while, and then everybody's going to form, and it kind of just like tumbles from there.
Well, it just starts to wear out, just like you see with then they'll start having to pay guys
contracts,
and.
Well, that's the unfair thing with the Celtics team. They have like $490 million in guaranteed contracts, which is just an absurd number. No other team is even close to that. There's a rumor that's why the owners are looking to sell, because they can't afford the luxury tax on this bill. So, yeah, the Celtics. What was there to say? They're fantastic.
Yep. They're just We're waiting to the finals for them, or to the playoffs for them. Same thing with the Thunder, I think too.
But I put the Thunder first because they're still undefeated, and for like a power ranking thing like this, is kind of
how I like it.
Feels right.
Feels right.
This whole thing feels right. I don't actually feel.
No, I'm happy with all
that. With any of this.
These top 5, 6, 7, 8. This feels like maybe the Lakers. No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't change. Yeah,
no. That's it.
Those
are the real teams. That. The doubt bracket, those are the real teams besides the other two, and then the other two are the real contenders. So,
so I think the only thing that surprises me in this whole thing is the Warriors and Cavs being in doubt, and Bucks, Nuggets, 76ers being probably down where they are. Like, I would have swapped.
The Bucks is easily,
probably swapped those two. Like Cavs and Bucks would have maybe flip flopped a little bit. The Nuggets should have been better, but I
think we're right.
Well,
we should definitely save this, revisit it, in a month or two or something, and see what.
Flip it, screenshot it.
Yeah, I got it.
Anything else tonight, boys?
Need to get some Z's.
I'm gonna get some Z's. Some Z's. Well, that is it for us tonight. Follow us on social media at the Box Out Boys. Slide in those DMs. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review on YouTube and Spotify. We very much appreciate that. So until next time, a box out.